Hi, everyone, and welcome to SQM Picks. I'm David Lipton. For those of you new to SQM Picks, our company SQM first started a blog several years ago to highlight businesses that provide outstanding customer service. Businesses that have been featured range from small mom and pop companies to some of the larger international brands. Highlighted companies come from a number of different industries, including restaurants, retail stores, medical offices, lawyers, and various tourist attractions. We've also featured an auto body shop and a junkyard in the blogs, which goes to prove that any business can provide outstanding service. Our guest today is Nico Passett, owner of Deadstok, Muskoka. Nico's company specializes in customized woodworking projects. Nico, welcome to SQM Picks.
Thank you for having me, David.
So tell us a little bit about your business. Where are you located, and tell us more about the various projects that you offer.
Certainly. So Deadstok, Muskoka is located right on the 400 highway, approximately half an hour north of Barrie in Ontario, Port Severn, Ontario. We've been here now for 4 winters. I originally started the business in downtown Toronto about 15 years ago with an ethos of providing reclaimed products to people that want to have anything from fireplace mantles to harvest tables, or even to buy the wood on their own so they have their own wood for a DIY project. And that translated into something that expanded up north here. And we opened up here, four winters ago. So I'm very delighted to have expanded the business up here and able to serve the people from Georgian Bay and Muskoka area.
You know, it's interesting that you say that you will be happy to sell just the wood for do-it-yourselfers, because if you recall, I originally reached out to you about just some pieces of wood, some barn board for my project, and one thing led to another, and you actually made a very spiffy countertop for me. And tell me, what are your favorite projects to work on?
My favorite projects to work on are definitely recycling old material and turning them into something that's functional and elegant for anyone's household, including yourself. You know, grateful to work on something where I'm taking a product, I have to look at it carefully, 3-4 pieces, putting them together to ensure that it's the right fit and the right aesthetic that someone like yourself would be looking for. Now, in that case, I never went to your house. I never saw exactly where it was going to go. You and I just worked together to create and collaborate with the right design and the right product. Again, working with reclaimed wood, it's not always easy because not one looks the same. So the consistency is never really there. But I, had a great time working with yourself and learning about what you need out of me, or learning about what you need for me to create for you to enhance your space.
Yeah, it was interesting. I know you talk about reclaim material, and I remember when I was up at your shop and you were doing something with a bowling alley. So that's certainly a little bit out of the box.
Oh, indeed. Yeah, and definitely one of my favorite types of old wood to work with. Been a couple of decades working with that old bowling lane, those old bowling lanes. But we also work with live edge material, new dimensional lumber, exotic lumber. I mean, realistically, the project and product options that we have here are very vast, and there was no place like Deadstok Muskoka up here. Hence my, desire to open up this location here.
So, I'm probably answering the question, or at least part of the question. I remember when you and I first connected, and I was a little concerned because I was coming to you, and my project was a very small project, and you kept stressing to me, as you don't mind whether it's a $500 project or a $50,000 project, you treat everybody the same, and you certainly took a lot of your time up with me, which I very much appreciated. Aside from being willing to take on smaller projects, how do you build strong relationships with your customers? Because I certainly get the feeling that you have strong relationships with your customers.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. So I believe the best way to develop those relationships with the customers is to, of course, be communicative with them. If there's any moment when they have any certain type of question or concern about what the product could be looking like, or what the final end product will look like, I do my best to address anything like that and to ensure that they're comfortable with the process. There are many people that I definitely have to educate because they're just not certain as to what they could be using, what kind of wood could be used to enhance or complement what they already have going on in the household or at the cottage. Therefore, yeah, for me, it's just the communication is key. Meeting with them is key, whether it's through video or bringing them into the showroom. And then if I have the opportunity to go to their place, then I will do that for sure, just to make sure that, we have basically a cohesive understanding as to what that final product will mean to not just myself, the creator, but to them as well, the people that are going to look at it for a lifetime.
Interesting. Well, Nico, I've only known you for a few months and only been up to the shop a couple of times, but it's always interesting to hear about some of the projects that you're working on, and always great talking to you about life, business, etc. While your contact information is going to show up on the screen, please tell everyone how they can contact your business.
Okay, certainly. So the business Deadstok Muskoka has a website. It's www.deadstok.ca. Phone number is 647-868-1979. You can find us on Instagram at Deadstok Muskoka, Facebook, same deal. And if you ever want to just come by the showroom, it's 2741 Hodgins Road, Port Severn, Ontario, right off the 400 highway.
And not too far from some of the best fish and chips north of the South Pole, if I recall, is their line there, Mama's Fish and Chips. On that note, I want to thank everybody for watching another episode of SQM Picks. Since we're always on the lookout for companies that provide outstanding customer service, if you know of any that you would like to nominate, please send an email about the business to sqmpicks@sqm.ca. Thanks again for joining us, and look for another company to be featured on SQM Picks shortly.
Thanks, David.